Hello.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for chatting with me this morning on somewhat short notice, I suppose.
It's no biggie.
I so uh been following your channel since about like July when I dropped my massive Jimmy Dore project. I was referred to you and love your content. Keep
I appreciate that.
close to just so close to 10, so close to 10,000.
It's yeah. I let me actually check it right now. What could it be?
So
It is actually I'm one subscriber away. I have 9,999
no
as of
way.
this moment.
That's
Yeah.
insane. Wow.
And I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna try to get 10,000 on my stream after this.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be the goal. I'm setting it up.
Sweet, yeah. Once I this is done recording, it'll go up today on my channel as well. Um, so I guess what started this really was I mean, to preface this, there's such a visceral reaction when it comes to NFTs online, and a lot of it is I don't know if a lot of it is warranted because I did see you put out some tweets. Uh, Basically like how these aren't a big deal. People are overreacting. I was curious as to because if they get brought up in conversation like anywhere, people are just gonna roll their eyes and be like, "Oh God." So why is this like not the right reaction to have necessarily?
Well, my main problem is like, let me just preface this by saying I've been involved in the crypto space for many, many years, right? So a lot of people on the left only really, maybe they've heard of it, right?
Yeah,
Many years ago, but like last year, 2021 was a big deal for crypto.
yeah,
Like Bitcoin, like 10x, because like the market crash and the pandemic, and then
right,
2021 was the rebound. So a lot of people were hearing about crypto for the first time. And so like for me, this is like something I know about. Like I've researched it. I'm kind of like I like to consider myself into technology. I
yeah,
build my own computer and all that kind of stuff.
right.
So like I'm savvy in this space, but a lot of people on the left aren't. Um,
Oh yeah,
and so one of the things about NFTs that I find my biggest issue now, I don't have any NFTs. There haven't been a project like that revolves around my dog's playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear. But there hasn't been a project that I seem, I'm not spending money on that. But I think that the visceral hatred of anyone that spends money on NFTs or would make an NFT, I think is stupid. I think it makes the left look dumb. And I think it's like, I don't. Have you ever seen the comedy show The Good Place? Have you ever seen that?
I can't say I have no.
Okay, well, the core of the show is like, in order to get to heaven, you need to get like points on a scoreboard as you live your life to be the most moral and ethical. And then at the end, the twist is, wait, there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. And it's like no one's been admitted to heaven in like the last 8,000 years or something because
Wow.
capitalism, right? And so I think that that's a really good show for that metric because I feel like people like will shit on NFTs thinking that they're like a moral freedom fighter.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, they probably eat meat. They probably have a cell phone. They
Yeah.
probably tweet all day. So it's like my thing is like
Wow.
I just don't get it. Like I think it's stupid. Like
Hmm.
if someone says, "Oh, you eat meat, that makes you a literal Nazi," animal holocaust, right? People will be like, "Oh no, I have to eat meat because of this." But then when people see like, "Oh, you're writing NFTs," and they go like, "You're evil, you're evil." Like it's like the worst caricature. And like I don't know, man, it's weird. Like I'm not into NFTs. I know about them.
Right.
I was around when they started becoming a thing like many many years ago.
Yeah.
But then this also ties into like the Bored Ape is like the big thing that people like first heard of NFTs
Yeah.
about, and it is like the worst project in the world.
Yeah. Very
I mean, like
cringe.
my God, it's terrible. Even the creator of Ethereum, I covered this on my show a couple days
Yeah.
ago. Even the creator of Ethereum doesn't like Bored Ape, so it's like I don't know, man. It's like judging,
Hmm.
like everyone who does something by like the most cringiest people in the space. Like most
Yeah.
people that play games like Call of Duty or Halo on voice chat are racist loser like edgelord teenagers. Does that mean Halo and Call of Duty are all of a sudden they're bad games or the games are bad?
Hell no.
Can't play games because the people that play games are bad. I don't know. It's just like it's
Yeah.
weird. I feel like it's a
I.
low IQ thing, and
I.
and I see people justify like harassment. Like a couple days ago, someone like posted a photo of them like with their girlfriend or whatever, and their girlfriend's an NFT artist, and then they got like hundreds of replies saying, "Oh, I hope you're proud of your girlfriend destroying the environment." It's like
Oh
who,
God.
like what are you doing? Like it's really cringy. It reminds me of like right wingers freaking out about critical race theory, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
they
No.
think that they know, like, and now again, like it's just like I don't know. I think the reaction is overblown. Like and people like I've lost a lot of friends because I don't hate NFTs. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible to have this conversation. It's like I don't hate something as much as you do. How does that make me a bad person? I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. It's really just a bandwagoning thing. Oh, because like some people that I follow or some people that I respect or value the opinion of, they're saying that this thing is dumb and stupid and bad. Therefore, I'm going to say that it's dumb, stupid, and bad. That right wing analogy is perfect because it's like asking someone like a right winger to define critical race theory, and then they just don't.
Yeah, they'll
It's the
like
same
say the
thing.
talking points that they heard on Fox News,
Yeah, when
and
they
that's
say
the
the
same
talking
thing
points
people do
about
with
like hating.
NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it destroys the climate, and it's like okay, first of all, like most NFT projects are built on climate. Not like the big
Yeah.
one is Ethereum that is really bad for the environment because it
Hmm.
uses a lot of energy. But a lot of NFT projects are like that's a good point. Let's make it on the Solana blockchain, the Polygon blockchain, all these other
Right.
things that are like they try to be like they're much more energy efficient. And
Hmm.
it's like so like I don't know, it's just weird, it's strange, and I feel like it's a fad.
Of
NFTs could be
course.
a fad, but I feel like
Yeah.
hating NFTs is a fad.
A bit
Um,
much bigger fat at this point because where I'm at is like I don't want to play into a visceral reaction to something that clearly no one understands because no one understands it. It didn't really I'm just not going to play along with the hate if I don't actually understand what it is, what the value of it is, what it could be used for, and what the future of it
yeah,
might be.
and that's the thing. It's like it's just weird. Like the like it's one thing to not like NFTs. That's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
like any projects currently at the moment, so I'm in the same boat. But it's like people think that if you like are an artist and you make an NFT of your art, that all of a sudden that makes you like a right wing like neo Nazi like ultra coke billionaire, and it's like that is it's
Uh,
just like, you are a dumb person. You have like some sort of psychosis that you maybe should consider going to therapy for, and
yeah.
it's just strange, and people will use that. I feel like social media is just a bad thing, especially with the pandemic. People hate each other,
Completely
right? So it's
agree.
just like another notch in the belt for people like to excuse like, oh, this person does NFTs, therefore they're subhuman garbage in my mind. And
Yeah.
it's just like it's embarrassing. It's like if someone who liked country music like was like, oh, I like country music, well, that makes you a right wing goblin because country is right wing, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of right wing country music people,
I am
therefore country music is right wing. So it's
I
like
am the purest leftist because I hate this thing too, even though I don't understand it or what its use could be. Um, I uh, I learned a little bit more about them through like the weirdest circumstances. There's this musician I really admire and love his work called his name is Devin Townsend, and he has a podcast, and he talked to out of all people, Matt Shadows, the frontman for the band Avenged Sevenfold, and apparently this guy just like was just naming off all the benefits that people can have from using NFTs and uh, he put it as digital ownership on the blockchain and they went back and forth about it because Devin didn't know anything about it, and of course, like that was one of the issues like that people brought up all the time is its energy consumption. It's bad for the environment,
I mean,
and
so is everything you do. Like every time you turn on a TV, is
exactly.
it's like it's just like a dumb argument. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, and basically how I mean, I'm still not really savvy on the terminology, but how like for instance, you can sell your fans a token and they get access to all these uh, all these benefits digitally, access to like digital events and merch and even like skins and like video games here and there. Just uniqueness that's yours, and that was heavily emphasized. Like,
Yeah, this is like you can do that without an NFT, right? But the
yes,
NFT provides like
yeah,
a resale value,
hmm
which in my opinion, people go like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Like in my like, I have a lot of Steam games. Like I've got 1,000 Steam games that I picked up on all these humble bundles, man. And there's some of them I bought 8 years ago and I still have never played. If I could
right,
resell that, if that was an NFT that I could resell, even if it was like $10, $2,
yeah,
I could make some money back and then someone else could have the game, right? So it's like to me, like I'm a video game person. I played a lot of video games when I was a
yeah,
kid and stuff. And I remember like going to GameStop and trading in games, and like they would rip you off, but
of
it's
course.
capitalism, baby. Like here we are. So like, but like the idea that it's like, oh, I'm done with this game. I can like get some money back and then buy another game. I like that's
Yeah,
been lost. Like that, I feel like the younger generation has just like the concept of like owning anything like is just like is gone. Like everything's like Steam is like you buy it
yeah,
and you can't refund it, and it's like I like NFTs in my opinion can bring that back,
of
right? And
course.
that's a good thing. Now that being said, right? Like yes, we live in capitalism. So are rich people going to potentially manipulate these markets?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Like they manipulate every market. I just got back from the grocery store. Wow, rich people are doing a hell of a scam there. Let me tell you, right? So it's like the idea that like if you're involved in crypto or NFTs that you're a scammer, and yet like I mean like
right.
everything in capitalism is a scam, right? Every time you go to the
Yeah,
grocery store you're getting scammed. Every time you like have to like do anything. Like honestly, the idea that I have to like cross a street and
uh-huh.
there's like giant metal death traps, like, and I just want to go to the liquor store and I gotta like go through this like Frogger bullshit.
Yeah,
Like that to me, that's a scam. Like why
yeah.
like just the way our society is constructed is a scam. So it's just like I don't know, man. I feel like people like just take out their frustrations on it in such a weird way, and it becomes like very toxic.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And they even said like NFTs don't have to be like super expensive. Like you can get a token and have access to all these uh like I said, all these wonderful things that, for example, Event Sevenfold is giving to their fans for like only $250. And you made a great point about like a lot of people in our generation. I'm 26. They don't own a lot of things, and so the concept for them is kind of stunted because of the negative impacts of capitalism, especially on millennials and Gen Z. And I do think if people like would just calm the fuck down and actually just like look into
That's the problem.
what
Yeah, people like
exactly.
they feel like they're freedom
Why do
fighters.
I
Like
hate
they're on the
this?
front lines.
Like
Yeah, it's
like
just like
ask yourself, like, geez, like, why do you have such a reaction, like a negative reaction to this, that, or the other? Like I mean, it's just it's more of like a trend hopping thing, because like I said, so and so hates it and I understand it, but I value their opinion, therefore I'm going to hate it too. And
yeah, and this
this
thing
is
where artists
everywhere.
will like announce that they're using an NFT and then they get like pushback or whatever, and it's like that's
Right.
just embarrassing because
Yeah.
like people go like NFTs fund like art thieves. It's like, oh wow, so art theft is something that just got invented. I've
Yeah.
never heard of this before. I've there's apparently you can steal art now, right? It's just like like every like thing that people come up with as a reason that NFTs are evil. Like I got phished on my email. Like oh that's not really Comcast, so therefore let's ban email now because I got
Right.
scammed on email. It's
Yeah.
like it's a weird. It's like it's like my thing is like I fundamentally like I can't handle illogical arguments. If an
Yes.
argument has no basis in
Right.
facts or reality or logic, I can't wrap my mind around it. I can't understand it.
Yeah.
And then it's one thing. It's like, oh, well, that argument is stupid, but it's whatever. People have bad opinions, or people,
Yeah.
they disagree on stuff. But then people like again this moral fervor where it's like there was this I like to call him Shaggy, but Matthew Lillard, the voice actor for
Oh yeah.
Shaggy and
Yeah.
Scooby
Yeah.
Doo.
Yeah. Yeah.
He announced he was getting into NFT projects, and then like he got pushback, and he was like, "Fuck you all! You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm not going to
Right.
listen to a bunch of morons." And it was great. It was great. It was
Mad
really good.
respect. Mad respect for
Yeah,
Shaggy.
I mean, Shaggy, like goat right there. But
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, I mean, like, yes, could you do things that you can do with NFTs without NFTs? Yes. Like,
Yeah.
can you do plumbing without like high quality pipes? Yes. Does that mean like I don't know? It's like you can do like I don't like this idea that like NFTs are a unique evil and they're like uniquely destructive and you need a really good reason to use them. Otherwise, like, you're evil and you're irredeemable. Meanwhile, I'm like, do you need to be posting that on Twitter? Like, do you need to be like using a cell phone? Why
Well,
don't you just use
I
a
have to.
payphone?
I
Well,
have to because I have to virtue signal to all my 92 followers that I believe in this thing and that thing. So I am morally justified in my position because blah blah blah.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it's silly. I think
Yeah.
it really is silly. And the other thing about social media is like when you tweet at someone, it's so impersonal. Like, you don't know this person. Like, I don't
Right.
know you. You don't know me. We're having a conversation. Like I'll check my phone every 20 minutes and dunk on you, and then you'll do the same. It's impossible to have like a legitimate conversation on Twitter,
Yeah.
right? And so like, and sometimes I'll be like, "Yo, do you want to talk on Discord? Do you want to talk on the phone about this?" And they're like, "No, that's weird. That's creepy." It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm a human being. Like, if we're having a disagreement, I'd rather settle it on the phone. I'd rather settle it where we can have a real time communication. If you
Yeah.
don't, that's fine. But
No kidding. I couldn't agree more. Like, and it's funny how many people will just shut the fuck up once you say like, hey, let's actually have a like an actual person to person like verbal chat about this. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But when it comes to like art theft or like personal property theft, when it comes to like NFTs or crypto or whatever. The way Matt Shadows put it is basically like in the blockchain. If you have your quote unquote digital wallet set up, there's a password protecting your password, and that with any, like you said, phishing scams, with anything like
yeah, people love to say that, like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like the phishing thing is like, people aren't getting their crypto wallets hacked in
right.
like the sense of people like cracking their passwords.
He said,
It's just that they got phished.
yeah,
Phishing is something that's existed. Like,
yeah, 100% human error were his words. That's how it
mhm.
happens. Like he said, we will not send you any link. Oh, go here and we'll give you all these benefits and all these blah blah blah, all these perks. And that's how it happens. Like it's always human error. It's always sketchy links that people decide to click on. Like, oh, what's this? And all of a sudden, your digital wallet is emptied.
And that's another thing. It's like, yeah, that happens, and that sucks. And
Yeah.
and yes, should there be wait, like, let's say you do get fished, should there be like some organization that can help you like find out? And that the good thing about the blockchain is all transactions are public, right? So
Yes,
you can actually
that's right.
track, right? So if your NFT gets stolen, you can actually see who stole it. Then maybe like all the marketplaces can say, all right, let's not list this because it's stolen, right? And then that NFT becomes worthless unless they return it to you. I've seen that happen where like, these
Yeah.
marketplaces will be like, that was stolen. We have documentation that this,
Right.
was scammed, like fish linked, stolen. And yes, that sucks. But you know what? We're going to help this person get their thing back. And then so they all delist it. The NFT becomes virtually worthless. And then eventually, like, either it's worthless and therefore their scam is a failure, or they get it returned just because it's not worth the hassle. Right. So it's like, I don't know, like there's ways around this, and that's the other thing is like you can improve, like the word, like the idea that like leftists shouldn't be involved in a space, like it just makes the right control it. So the right's going to
Yes.
implement all the code.
Yes.
The right's going to control how everything works. The right's going to control how it's implemented into society, and the left is just going to
Oh
be like,
God.
it's like the same thing of like crying
Exactly.
about the internet in like the 1990s. It's like,
God
oh, the
damn.
internet will never catch on, and then all of a sudden, right, like Elon Musk is owning PayPal, and it becomes like one of the, it's like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
yes, yes, are NFTs like are they somewhat problematic? Sure, but like so is everything. Everything like the like I don't know. It's a weird thing to hyper fixate on, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's unhealthy, and I feel like it promotes like a culture that is just really cringe. It's like it's embarrassing,
I
and
couldn't agree more. And really, all it takes is like if you want if you want to actually just educate yourself about like uh, uh, and and that'll prevent human error. That will prevent scamming and next time you engage on the subject, like you won't sound like an absolute idiot. It's really
that's the
simple.
thing is like there's these like Twitter accounts that are like crypto bros posting L's or whatever. Like you've probably seen these
Yeah,
like, oh,
they're pretty
crypto bros
funny.
getting wrecked,
Yeah.
and almost every single example on those accounts are crypto bros making fun of left wingers and pretending to get hacked, and then like making these elaborate trolls. Like there was one where it's like, I bought an electric dildo or something and it hacked my Ethereum wallet. And then like all the anti-NFT people were like, look, see how bad crypto is. And then you go to this guy's account and it's just like posting all the left-wing like reactions and they're laughing at it. And it's just like I don't know, man. Like people, like it's really funny. It's hilarious, and it's like the idea that someone could actually believe, and then like someone like the crypto bros getting wrecked account posts the dildo story, and then everyone's like, oh, that could only happen in crypto. You can't make this up, and it's like, well, actually, they did make it up, right? So it's like, I don't know. It's just like it's embarrassing. I feel like I don't know, like tech savvy people, like in general, like it's a fun thing. Oh, the boomers can't use cell phones, like. I feel like I don't know. Left wingers are like the boomers in this scenario, like and it's just weird. It's like they're so reactionary and they hate like new things, and it's like yes, like if the new things have problems, we should fix the problems. I don't know. That's my thing. Like I don't know. But like again, I am plagued by knowing what this is. That is my one problem. Is I have actually read into this, and I should.
There's no such thing as knowing too much. But yeah, what you said earlier, like if the left in general doesn't, because either way, this is going to be around for a long time. This isn't going away. No, there's no way in hell. So the most useful thing that leftists could do is stop bitching about it, get invested in it in some way, shape, or form, and utilize its growth and see its growth and not allow it to get completely taken over by right wingers like right wingers and Nazis and fascists have taken over and destroyed all like countless things that we love on the internet. And this should
absolutely
this should
like gaming.
Yeah,
like gaming is a huge example. Like if like I stopped playing online games just because like gamers are annoying and I hate voice chat. Like ideally, if I'm playing like Big Team Battle in Halo 3, I'd love to have a voice chat with all my teammates and we're talking about, oh, I'm gonna get in the Warthog, bro. But instead, it's just like Nazis like screaming the N-word over and over, and it's like then my experiences. But it's like it's just like. But if everyone was like, and I stopped using voice chat. I don't use voice chat in online games, right? But it's like if everyone was like, oh, let's not stop using voice chat. Let's just all start, doing, good things in voice chat and actually try to then maybe voice chat would be usable in a video game. I don't know. That's just one example, and it's just like, and that's just like, I just this the idea that like NFTs are something exclusively for wealthy people is also really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that like inherently scamming is like is buying a game on Steam a scam? I don't know, like Steam sales. Like, can you say that like Steam sales are a scam? You could, because a lot of like I buy games on Steam sales. Oh, this game looks cool. It's like, normally $10. Now it's like $5. And then 10 years later, still haven't played it. Did I get scammed? I mean, you could make the argument, yeah, I got scammed, right? Like, and does that make Steam evil? Should we shut down Steam? I don't know.
No
like, it's just like people really don't understand. I think what fundamentally this is people don't understand how capitalism is in every part of our lives, right? So when they see something new, right, in NFTs, in cryptocurrency, like they're traded on markets, right?
Yeah,
everything is traded on markets, right? Like I buy and sell like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like old video games. Those are markets. You can look at. Does that mean you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore because there's secondary markets? You can't play Magic the Gathering because there's secondary markets. They're scams, right? It's like it's just weird. Like markets, we live in a free market society. I don't like it. I would love to live in a communist society. I want to ban money. I want to ban all of this, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, no kidding, and that's that. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like the capitalism is going to be here for a while, I think. And you hating I mean, I hate capitalism as much as the next socialist, leftist, whatever the fuck. But like, you're not hating capitalism hard enough is not going to make these things go away. Like, you're either shut the fuck up about it or learn about it and utilize it to the left's advantage. Do instead of bitching about it. Like I can't get over that. It all comes down to the individual. It's you can only blame like
yes, this random artist is personally responsible for destroying the Amazon rainforest.
Christ.
Like it's ridiculous. I mean, I was thinking about because I don't know if you know Matt Bender from the Majority Report.
Love him.
I love Matt Bender. He's a great guy. But he did this show about how like crypto is all a scam and he's doing his own show. I was thinking about that inspired me to maybe do like a show like making fun of like left-wing reactionaries. Like just like the exact opposite. I don't know, man. It's yeah, it's a content mine. There's so much like cringe out there,
Yeah.
and it's like it really boils down to you don't hate this as much as I do. Therefore, you are morally corrupt and reprehensible, and I hope you die. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, same, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Like, I hope I die too. Like,
and I was thinking about this too before I hopped into the video call, and this can also be applied to Spotify as well. How much do you know about that? And like,
yeah, I know Spotify like streaming like per playback does not give artists a lot of money per playback or whatever. I don't use Spotify. I honestly just use YouTube, which I think is worse. But I also buy music. You know, I usually buy an album and listen to the files or whatever. So that's usually. But yeah, I mean, if you use YouTube for music, you're destroying artists. You're stealing from them. If you use Spotify, you're stealing from them. Why not just go and give them the money directly? You're stealing from them. You're evil. You're corrupt, and that artist is having a harder time because you're evil and you're disgusting. And I hope you die. I mean, like, it's just weird. It's weird. I can't wrap my mind around that mindset.
Yeah, it's another thing where like, sure, the CEO of Spotify is a fucking douche who owns weapon stocks and defense contracting stocks, but like it's one of those knee-jerk reactionary things where a lot of people
like,
just literally don't understand what the fuck they're
Google has
about.
ICE like contracts with ICE. Does that mean
hell.
every time you do a Google search, you're morally reprehensible and you should be put on death row and you're evil and you should be canceled every time you do a Google search? Yeah. I don't know. It's just like
there's
the people
consistency.
like
there's no consistency at all.
That's the thing. That's my problem. It's like my opinion is like I will use things and I will know how they are problematic and I will understand how they are problematic and I will attempt to de-problematicize the things that I use, like the internet. Like I use YouTube politics heavily right wing. There's a lot of right wingers in YouTube politics. Does that mean I shouldn't use YouTube for politics because right? No, it's just like I don't know. Do these people drive cars? Like, why don't you get a job in walking distance?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a job? Why don't you work from home? How dare you contribute to the climate disaster, right? Buying a car and then buying gasoline. How dare you? Do you eat meat? How dare you?
Seriously.
Do you know factory farming, how it destroys the planet? How dare you? And the thing is, like, all these things that people take for granted and don't question whatsoever, like eating meat, for example, right? Meat is like a good chunk of our climate disaster. Like we're talking like 30-40% of the problem.
Giant.
Like if the whole world just became vegetarians, like we could probably fix the yes, we should do more, right? But it's like that's like if you want to have one thing to focus your energy on, be a vegan and be one of those really annoying radical vegans because at least they're right. Yes. At least they're right.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Like it comes back to it's all up to the individual. Like you can scream about society and how fucked everything's all you want, but unless you're making those changes actively in your life, like I am, like I cut meat as much as I can out of my diet, and like I personally I don't support Amazon whatsoever. I don't have Amazon Prime. I don't buy anything from them. None of that. It kind of sucks because I do like The Boys on Amazon Prime. So I haven't watched season 2 yet, unfortunately. But still, it's just a principle I have, and like unless people make an active change in their life, like if you change yourself, you change the world, and that's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I can't. It's strange. It's very strange. It feels like I'm on an alien planet sometimes when people start talking about cryptocurrency. And again, I'm plagued by having known what crypto is and having been involved in crypto for 5 or 6 years, I forget. And so a lot of people just don't know what it is and they're behind on the curve. And that's, I would love to educate people, but whenever like you try to educate people, they always go like, you're defending capitalism. And it's like, what? Like every time you eat a fucking Wendy's fast food burger,
defending capitalism. Shut
right?
The fuck
Just there's no self-awareness. Like there's no self-awareness, and it's just.
So I wanted to ask, how long have you been doing the whole politics on YouTube thing?
Well, I started my current show, Above It All, on January 1st, 2020. I mostly did video games before that, and I dabbled
Yeah.
in politics for a couple of years, but nothing like like a show based on it. Like I would just like when the primaries were going on, like before that, and like
Hmm.
2019, 2018, I would make a couple videos now and then.
Yeah.
But I started a show, on January 1st, 2020, and little did I know that I would start a show at the perfect time for the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about I guess 2 years.
Yeah, everyone around that time, pretty much every channel on YouTube that was covering politics, like in any fashion, in any form, were exploding. Like everybody, because it was such a tense time, and everybody was just sub count going up, 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 view count going up, up, up. Um,
I mean, that's capitalism, right?
yeah,
Like that's like the line's going up, right? Like every time you make
line
a
go up.
video, every time you make a title that is designed like to search engine optimization
Yes,
designed to get into the clicks, if you use clicks, that's capitalism, baby.
you're
You're a
you're
problem.
stream
You should be thrown in jail for your problems because you're crazy and you,
right.
you you know
Your
you're
stream
evil.
your stream titles, like the titles of your shows, are hilarious. By the way.
I every morning I sit down and there's like a 2 minute process. Like I give myself a couple minutes and I'm like, all right, this is it. This is I go with it.
Hot News Babe does a goddamn or something like that. I just like
Yep,
love
yep,
it.
yep.
So oh god, what else was I going to ask? What so you do it daily? Is it a daily thing?
7 days a week. That's right.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. Like I probably upload like a video every 2 weeks because I'm just so burnt out. Like I'm not even on Twitter that often, and like I see enough to where I'm just like fuck this, fuck that. I'm tired of this. I'm going to space out, play Valorant or Halo, and just play my guitars and like just zone like zone
Yeah, I
all
mean,
this
the
out.
thing about doing a daily show, and my particular show is that like if sometimes I'm looking at the news and I'm like, this is not a good day for news, I will just do something completely
Yeah.
random. I will
Oh
just
yeah,
fuck around.
yeah.
I'll like,
I've
just get
seen you
really
play like
high and
old PlayStation games. Yeah, I've seen you.
yeah, like I'll just like, if the news sucks, I'll just like do like a comedy set. Like I'll just like try to make jokes and like, because I don't know, like not like yes, reading
Yeah,
the news every day can get a little much. So
yeah.
if
Over
sometimes I'm
time.
not really feeling it, like yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it, I'll just do whatever.
yeah,
Um,
it can definitely get a little monotonous, and it's good to change up every now and then. Like with my channel, like hey, let's do a tier list of all these progressive news shows, or
of
let's
course, I'm an S tier.
yeah, for the few tier lists that are on Tier Maker that I would hope that you're on, like absolutely
I don't know if I'm on any,
right.
but we need to get there.
I
We
mean,
need to get there.
right. I think I've seen like smaller channels than yours. Like there's one that has like 80 different content creators, and there's one there are a couple on there that I think have smaller channels than you, but you're not on there. But but I digress. Yeah, it's good to change up every now and then because it's so easy to get burnt out in politics, and it's about to get really exciting because next year you're gonna start
The
seeing
primaries,
yeah
baby.
Republicans start announcing it, and oh boy, is it going to be fucking like YouTube gold.
I
Just
mean,
watching
I'm
the shit
I'm here
show.
for it. I mean, the
Me too.
midterms as well. Like midterms are really kicking up,
Yeah,
and like yeah, like like that's what like yes, like the downfall of America, at least I can profit on it, right? Like does that make me a terrible person? Like if I make videos, oh, Trump wins Republican primary and I get like 100,000 views and
yeah,
like does that make me an evil person? I mean maybe, I don't know. Like I don't know.
yeah. Who?
But like also like what else are you going to do? Like my opinion like we all should make the best of what we can in life, we only get one life.
Yeah, because
I don't believe in any of that religious bullshit. So like I think, maximize what you can,
yeah,
right? I don't want to step on anyone else, right? Because
right.
that's right. Maximize what you can in your position. Do the best you can. Enjoy the best you like most you can. That's my
Yeah,
position
I,
on everything.
I completely agree. Like it just doesn't matter as long as you enjoy yourself. Like, geez,
Sure.
we're here for a of time on the grand scale. So like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, and that's another thing is like the social media really makes people hate each other, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh
and,
yeah.
and because of the pandemic, people are going out less, and like people are,
Yeah.
like inflation is making people have less money to go out and do less things, right? So people are just online more, and they hate
Yeah.
each other, and it's like I don't. Like it's fun to dunk on people every once in a while. Like, it's good. You dunk, you leave it alone. You go back a couple hours
Yeah.
later, see that all hell is broken loose, and then you just don't care.
It
You just mute thread, and it's like, all right, I'm good.
it
Like
re-
people that spend their whole life like online, like hating people all
I
day. That's
hate
that's
that.
mental illness, right?
That
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 is like
really is like hate scrolling through Twitter 14 hours a day. It's like, please just go the fuck outside. I beg you with
take a walk.
every fiber of my being, go out and socialize. If you have the means, you have the responsibility to
Yeah, I mean,
socialize.
you
Like,
don't
come
even need
on.
to socialize. Like go outside, take a walk, and think about your life. I mean,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. Like sometimes, like yeah, I'll admit sometimes I get involved in Twitter fights, and and
Oh
then
yeah.
30 minutes goes by, an hour goes by, and I'm just like, and then I just
Oh
think
yeah.
like I go up to use the bathroom, and then like in that moment of clarity, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And
Oh,
then I go
same
do
here.
drugs and like have fun, right? Like so, it's like okay.
Yeah.
And then I come back like 15 years later, and then I'm like, oh, right, yeah, I was yelling at this guy on Twitter. I don't even care anymore. So it's like, I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
people really need to just like chill the fuck out. That's not going to happen. So I'm,
Yeah,
I'm praying, but that's not going to happen.
I watched your conversation with the Rational National, which I must say is unfairly ignored. It was such a good conversation, and I don't
You
even
got to share it. You got to tell your friends.
I don't even know if David put it up on his own channel. I,
I don't think he put it up, but he tweeted about it. Like, when it
yeah,
happened and then like when the VODs came out and stuff.
I absolutely love his work, and you guys had an excellent conversation, and it really like only affirmed my position that I think everyone in the world, especially in America, should just sit down and take 2 grams of psilocybin.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, like that shit's changed my life, right?
Yeah,
Like, so it's like
it would
I don't
it
know.
would, it
Like
would, it
I
would
think
not
everyone
only
in
it would not only chill people the fuck out. It would force them to sit there and assess their mistakes, their bad habits, their behaviors, their attitudes towards other people, their treatment of other people, their consumption on a day to day basis, um, and I think the whole the whole fucking world would be so much better off
Yeah, I mean,
if
one of the things I cover on my show is like, whenever there's a lot of cities in the United States that are like decriminalizing mushrooms and stuff like that. So whenever that
yes.
happens, I try to talk about that. Recently, Michigan has another city, it's right outside Detroit, Hazel Park, that decriminalized. Detroit's
Wow.
also decriminalized for that record.
Wow.
And yeah, so there's and you can just look up a list of cities, the whole state of
I
Oregon as
think
well.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Fucking Oregon always ahead of the curve. I think Denver is another. Is it
Yep,
Denver?
Denver was the very first.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Is it the whole state now, or is it just still Denver?
Still Denver, but I think there's a statewide ballot measure
Right.
going up
For
in
sure.
2022 in Colorado and in Michigan. So we'll see.
So you're on the East Coast, right?
I'm in the Eastern time zone of the United States. That's correct.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. Because apologies if I've been groggy like this whole time because
It's all good.
I'm on the West Coast and I saw. Uh,
I forced you to get up early. You got
no,
3 minutes of
no.
sleep.
I was looking forward to this. Like I honestly was. But at the same time, last night was a flogging Molly concert in Oakland, and I wasn't going to miss that. so I,
Oakland, by the way, also decriminalized
that's
magic
right.
mushrooms.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. They absolutely did. Um, but yeah, I think there might even be. I, I'm not sure if it's statewide. I'm not even sure if it was California that had a ballot initiative for legalizing.
They might. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it.
Either way, they should. Every state should. It should. Joe Biden should go up there and just like,
Imagine if Joe Biden did mushrooms, then that
God,
would be
God damn. Like
that'd be crazy.
honestly, and like I could like you and David touched on that too. Like all world leaders, like if not
If they
psilocybin,
got into a room and they did some drugs and they just chilled the fuck out, put some records on for like 72 hours,
seriously.
like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's like the episode of Rick and Morty when Rick gets a couple world leaders together to smoke like space crystals, and it just
Hmm.
totally resolves like the Israel Palestine conflict,
Right? Of course, yeah.
whatever the fuck. Like I believe it honestly. Like. eh,
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean,
Imagine
that's
Trump like after a mushroom trip. Like I think I even saw a meme back when he was president of him like totally bald but with like a nice healthy
right, right.
gray beard. And he's like I did mushrooms in the forest and my life has completely changed now.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you'd think like rich people have access to these things, and like
They
it
don't
doesn't
though. They
change
don't.
everyone for the better. Like that needs to be understood. Like there's a lot of bad people that really like things like LSD and mushrooms, and they're still really bad people after. But
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I think it can benefit most people.
I completely agree. Have you ever tried MDMA?
Nope.
It's actually pretty awesome.
I'm aware. Yeah, I would like to at some point, hopefully in the near future.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how well it's accessible, but I do know. I think there. I mean, apart from the trials and the studies on it that help, like especially veterans with PTSD, it's really. I used to do it somewhat often, and it's like a pure state of euphoria where you just love everything. You love
Sure,
everything,
sure.
and it's really great. I'm not sure if there are some areas where it's legalized for like medicinal use
Yeah, I
or
think in a lot of the cities that have legalized psilocybin, I think have also legalized.
other drugs as well. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, or like decriminalized, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think all of them, but I think most of them. I'm pretty sure they just did like all the main psychedelics. So,
Awesome.
but
Well,
again, the problem still is sourcing, right? Like, for a
yeah.
mushroom,
Yeah.
it's easier to tell if it's a mushroom, but for like a pill, it's way harder. So that's my thing. It's like
Right.
if I can get a good source, I'm in, but I'm not going to risk it if I.
Yeah, yeah. With mushrooms, all you gotta do is like go up into the deep forest and where it's nice and cool, and find some on the forest floor.
Yeah, or just go into your closet and
Yeah,
so
yeah. Whereas like shit like MDMA is like it's like refined and packaged and like
mhm.
it's also an environment it's an environmentally destructive thing because I guess the like the key ingredient is like a root from Malaysia and like that tree I think is endangered and like
Mm,
you can't harvest it so you can't like plant new ones.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
as far as I know, I could be absolutely dead wrong on that because
I mean that it could be that or like something slightly similar.
yeah,
Maybe I'll look into that.
yeah, absolutely. It's just my source on that. I no longer he's no longer part of my life, so I gotta take that with a grain of salt at this point.
Uh oh.
But yeah, so when was the last time you had a profound mushroom trip or?
Oh, last weekend. I
Oh,
mean, like,
really?
yeah, I tend to do them every weekend. In fact, I'm gonna do them after my show today. So,
Fucking
uh,
right.
I don't normally do like a significant amount, but I try to do like a decent amount to get like like to enjoy like watch movies, listen to music, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But usually every time like I've got an anxiety disorder, so like there's usually things swimming around in my brain on the weekly basis. That's
yeah.
like it's really good to just kind of like once a week or whatever, in my opinion, just to like sit back and kind of assess things. Just have a good time.
How much do you take per dose?
It depends. Usually what I do is I like to fast like the whole day. So, I won't eat breakfast and that in my experience that heavily impacts the amount, like the way that it hits you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I That's true actually. Because last time I did it, and I've only been able to do it a couple times in my life, but I
Hmm.
saw Tool in San Francisco.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, back in January, and me and my partner at the time, we didn't eat all day, and we ended up, and that's kind of what probably made us like trip harder than we thought we
Oh,
would.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Eh,
I mean, I've experienced like near ego death on like 1 gram after not eating for like 36 hours. Because I
jeez.
like one of the like I do like I like to fast a lot. Like, I like to
Yeah,
do like 24 hours, 36 hours, maybe like once or twice a month.
yeah,
And I need to get back on that because I haven't over the course of winter time. But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, like it really like especially also in my experience, if you drink coffee or any caffeine, like caffeine, like like it just speeds you up. Like it's crazy. Like I remember
Honestly,
one time
yeah.
I did like half a gram and like had like right after a cup of coffee, like 24-hour fast, and I was freaking the fuck out. Like
Honestly, oh
I
my
was
god.
nauseous too, because like that's the other thing. The side effect if you fast is like you're more likely to get a little nauseous. But like like
Yeah,
as long as like it's gonna pass, and that's with more experience. Like, yep, I'm nauseous right now, but that's fine. In 20 minutes, I'll be good to go.
yeah. Unfortunately, my partner wasn't very prepared because I mean, honestly, it hit because I guess if you have something in your stomach, like some food, like it doesn't hit as quick and you don't get as
Yeah, because it just
nauseous.
like it will. It's like it slowly metabolizes versus like
Right.
that's the only thing in your stomach. So that's
Right.
there's nothing else, right?
So we're in the nosebleeds of the same stadium that the Golden State Warriors play at for NBA games and shit, and we're literally like at the sixth story. We're it's like we're looking off a cliff. So
Mm-hmm.
we're super high up there, and it starts actually like hitting us really fast, and we ended up peaking like towards the end of the opening set because Blonde Redhead was opening.
Okay, so that's
And,
like, in my opinion, that's perfect. So you're peaking, and then the band's coming on, and
yeah.
like
Oh
the
yeah.
one that you're there to see. Like for me, like the peak, like the most intense part is usually like, I like the hour after that the most. Like once you like realize that
Right.
you're not ramping up anymore, like this is
Right.
where you're at. This is okay. This is good. I can deal with this,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like then you're just good because then you don't have to worry anymore. Like I often deal with come up anxiety where it's like I don't know how up I'm gonna go. It's like going on a roller coaster and
I,
then you
I
look down. It's like whoa.
I know exactly how you feel because I used to smoke weed a lot back in the day. And every now and then,
Whoa.
like yeah, I'll every now and then I'll have a like an edible, like with just like a little bit of THC in it, and like so I know how to pace myself, but every now and then, like maybe I'll have a little bit too much,
Mm.
and that feeling sticks there, like like how high am I going to get? Like
Yeah,
how
you just
much?
don't know. Like that's yep.
Yeah,
I try to be as scientific as possible with my drug intake just so I can be consistent, right? Like if I don't eat for 12, 16 hours, like and then I do this amount and then I've had this in my system, it should be like this. And usually like there's some variation, you never know, like I don't know. It's impossible to get everything
yeah,
perfect, but
and I love coffee too. Like I drink it literally, excuse me, every morning, and I've noticed like if I'm smoking or like I happen to have a trip, then it does like it's because it's a stimulant and it just makes me a
mhm.
bit more anxious in that regard.
Yeah. I find that like for me, like I do speed runs. So like video games where you try to play as
Yeah. Oh
fast as
yeah.
possible. So it requires like high skill and high like I like a little bit of weed and coffee and I'm in the zone, right? Because like I can focus on the game because of the weed, and then the coffee I've got like high reflexes, right? So
Yeah.
that's like my perfect,
Yeah.
I'm yes,
Yeah.
I'm coming out. I'm using performance enhancing drugs in my speed runs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
and that's like the best way to do it too, because like if you're not if you don't have those stimulants, like you're not as into the game, you're not as focused. So
yeah.
yeah, it's easy to it reminds me of when I I did a major trip that impacted my life back, I think, in 2016. I ended up being like home alone in my apartment, and I took two tabs, like two gel tabs, so strong fuckers, and didn't really feel anything after about an hour. And so my smart ass was like, okay, let's take the other three. Big mistake.
Oh no. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. My thing is like I don't redose because like there's like a I mostly do mushrooms, right? But there's like a
Right.
tolerance build up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm fine. Like if it's like kind of a dud, whatever. Next week,
Right.
I'll do a little bit more or whatever. But yeah, so you're five in,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
Well, I could not sleep at all. Like it
Right?
literally, like my even though it was time to sleep, my brain would just not like shut off.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's
Nope,
impossible.
not at all. So I figured, since I'm tripping literal dick, might as well start my day, even though it's the weekend and I'm in my apartment alone. Let's make some coffee. Let's put on some music,
Sure.
and then just write. Get a little notepad and just write all my thoughts. Like, this is it.
Sure. Yeah.
This is it. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. It's all gonna be okay. Hell yeah.
And then you look at it later, and it's like, is this even English?
Yeah. And then after you have those like random epitomes, like after a certain amount of time, like you just start to come like uh get more anxious, and then like you're sorting through your thoughts, and then all of a sudden another epiphany, and it's just like the most basic simple shit, but at the moment you're just like, yes, that's it.
Yeah. What if I put milk in my coffee? Oh my god. That's
Yeah,
that's that's
yeah,
what happens sometimes when I make like when I cook when I'm still like kind of in the trip. Like make a salad or something, and it's like there's
yes,
so like I taste all the different ingredients, and it's
yeah.
like and it's like whoa.
Yeah, and
It's crazy.
what better I mean, what better thing to eat when you're like tripping, or you're super high, than like something that's super healthy that you wouldn't normally eat, because like you get the texture, and
Yeah.
and the vitamins, and it makes you feel better.
I mean, I would like to announce that I normally do eat salads. This is breaking news.
Yeah,
But also like yes, like making like a healthy like sometimes it's impossible, right? Sometimes you're just too
of
far
course.
gone and like you just like order takeout or whatever. Like it happens.
Yeah,
But like it's and that's good too, and that's its own experience.
yeah.
Um,
I impulsively on my lunch at work yesterday went to a GNC and then just bought a whole bunch of stuff for like keto,
sure.
even though I'm not on the keto diet. It's like, but I've been like, it's been teasing me for the longest time. Like, I've wanted to get started because I've seen other people like it have great results and still eat
I did
great food.
keto for like 4 or 5 months. And like I would say like the first like 2 weeks are the most difficult.
Yeah,
Because you're gonna be when like your body is transferring into it, especially the first time you do it. Like I've done keto on and off a couple times, and the next couple times is usually way easier because you know what's coming.
yeah,
But the first couple weeks, like I would recommend like monitoring your electrolytes. That's the main thing. Like I remember I passed the fuck out once because like I was drinking water, but it was like demineralized water or whatever, and like I wasn't like I was only eating like very little, like, and it was just the keto stuff, and that didn't, and so I kind of like had an electrolyte issue. But then once you fix that, it's a lot of micromanaging. But I mean, and, yeah, I would
yeah,
definitely recommend it.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, is it because it's like a no sugar diet, like
Yeah,
as
like
I
no
know.
carbs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, in that case, like, I guess I better invest in mineral water to help me get through that, because
Yes, or like like sometimes I would just put like iodized salt in like a little like a water bottle, like just a little bit, like a
yeah,
small. You don't want to taste it, but just a little bit, just so you get
right,
something.
yeah,
That fixed me up.
yeah. Because my job is rather physical.
Okay,
I am a service technician. I go to people's houses and do stuff here and there. And if that's since it's really active, and the diet, because carbs, like, it's just excess energy that you burn off. That's something
mm-hmm.
I'll definitely need to monitor. What so like, is it something that you need to be active doing, you need to be doing physical activity, or can you just like do it like I I don't know how to put it, but like in order for it to like work properly, like do you have to be like have a routine exercise?
Well, the whole point of like ketosis, like the main
Yeah.
advantage to ketosis is that it burns excess fat on your body for fuel.
Okay.
And so like the big advantage that you'll see is like, oh, you can lose weight while you sleep because like, when
Right.
you're in ketosis, it's like that's just what happens. And if you're in ketosis for like months, that's why people will lose a lot of weight because it's just like they're burning all the excess energy off their body.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be active, but that definitely, like, if you're active, it's on, like, honestly, like, it's probably better not to be active
Right.
if it's your first time. Like, if you would like take a vacation, like a 1 week off or something, that would be, beneficial to like helping you do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're active, like you're gonna have to make sure that you're monitoring your electrolytes and make sure you're eating enough of the nutrients that you do need and stuff. Because you're
Yeah.
like your body, especially the first time you do it, it's going to be weird to adjust, and you're going to get dizzy, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, because I hear about ketosis and how it could fuck with you if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other like side effects to it as you? Because like that's another thing too is like I drink fairly often and
Sure, sure.
that's kind of be gonna need to be like
Yeah,
watched.
so I'm a vodka person.
Okay.
On ketosis, I would say limit yourself to 2 shots of vodka per day. If you're on a per day basis,
Right.
but
Oh yeah, yeah.
so like, yeah, beer definitely no, like, any of that, like, kind of the fruity drinks like wine, definitely no. But like spirits usually are pretty good. I like, vodka, like, whiskey, I guess you could do like that kind of stuff. That's
Okay.
that's not going to break your ketosis. If you
Cool.
have like maybe 5 or something, then maybe you're starting to get into that territory. But 1 or 2, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, I do like vodka. Is there I mean, wha- is there a certain cocktail that would be keto friendly?
Oh, well, me personally, I like do vodka and seltzer, like, like
Okay.
flavored seltzer
Okay.
water,
Okay.
you
Perfect.
know.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
that's usually good enough for me.
Perfect. And I think I'm a lot more confident going forward with it because I've wanted to do it for a while because
Hmm.
I've hit my peak weight recently, and I'm just tired of being bigger than I've ever been. So
Sure, and one of the things, like, I lost, in my experience, I lost 100 pounds when I used to be like around 260, and so for me, I mean, I can just say, like, I save a lot of money on food, right? Like, I mean, like,
awesome.
there are benefits that are financial as well. Like, I'm spending more money on video games, more money on my NFT collection, right? So, you know,
Yeah, I think once because I actually recently went shopping and it wasn't a very keto friendly shopping thing because it was with my brother and it was before like I
sure,
indulged and
sure.
went to a agency. So I think once I guess
Yeah, get through what you got.
yeah,
You don't want to
yeah,
waste it.
yeah, exactly. And then I'll
And prepare, like, over the course of, like, however long it takes to get through it, just like read
yeah,
a little bit more, and watch a couple tips or whatever,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure,
like, you don't want to go in blind, right? Because
of
I
course.
kind of went in when I did it the first time. I kind of went in blind without doing a lot of research, and I passed out a couple times.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
learn from my mistake.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I hope your news show goes swell today.
I will try my best to avoid disaster,
For sure.
which is the average state. That's the normal default state for my show, is a disaster.
God,
So
I mean, given the fucking state of the world, I mean, it can't really get much. It can't get much worse. I mean,
it's true.
I mean, at least we can hope. At least Ukraine is kicking Russia's ass, and Putin's kind of an embarrassment. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Putin is he's getting into the cancel culture thing, so that's
God,
great. Russia's being canceled. I mean,
oh,
like if you would have gone back in time, like 5 years, like when cancel culture first started, kind of making the rounds as a term.
I could
Yeah,
not.
5 years from now, Vladimir Putin's going to claim that Russia's being canceled and cite J.K. Rowling. Oh yes, that J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author.
I
Yeah. Oh, by
cannot.
the way, it's just ugh.
I cannot believe that happened, especially given the recent shit, like the drama with Vosh and all that shit, and like
It's a worlds are colliding, and it's not good. The result is bad.
I would like to know like every single Harry Potter fanatic's reaction to Vladimir Putin, known war criminal and terrorist, citing J.K. Rowling, and playing the victim like oh, I'm a victim of cancel culture. Look at J.K. Rowling. It's I
It is incredible. I mean, and it's not new, right?
what
J.K.
is
Rowling
this?
has been cited by Republicans in Congress, right?
Of
Like,
course,
and they,
yeah.
she is a fascist. I mean, in my
Yeah.
opinion, if you're a TERF, you're a fascist. There's no
Oh,
distinction. It's
yeah.
just that
I
your
agree.
group that you want to commit a genocide against is a different group. That's it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And it's so maddening. Like I'm like just fuming just thinking about. Like I still cannot believe that that actually happened. But yeah, before I get even angrier, because we can literally talk all day about J.K. Rowling
Oh, I've got all the Harry Potter books right here, and I'm going to do an audio book live and give you every problematic detail.
oh my
I'm just
god.
kidding. I'd never buy her books.
No, honestly, yeah, that's I need to watch Sean's video on that. I haven't watched that yet. 'Cause I'm sure he brings up all sorts of wonderful things. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm probably gonna go fall back asleep.
Sure.
It was excellent talking to you. Maybe
Let me know when you put it up, and I'll like advertise
yeah.
it or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll render it and I'll process it right after I'm done with this, and then I'll let you know, and then
Okie doke.
get
Yeah,
on.
thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it. And if you
Absolutely.
want to do another thing in the future, let me know.
For sure, I absolutely shall. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah, have a good stream.
You too.
Okay, catch you
Or,
later.
day.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Have
There
a
you
good
go.
one.